How to roast a troll. Matthew 5, verses 38 through 42. Jesus said, "You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not resist the one who is evil. But if anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to him the other also. And if anyone would sue you and take your tunic, let him have your cloak as well. And if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles. Give to the one who begs from you, and do not refuse the one who would borrow from you." Eugene claimed that the Bible was full of contradictions. As is my habit, I asked him for one. He cited Matthew 5:38. Clearly, in his opinion, Jesus contradicted the Old Testament here. The Old Testament ethic is eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. But the New Testament is all about love and turning the other cheek. This is sloppy thinking for 2 reasons. For the sake of argument, let's say Jesus is opposing the Old Testament ethic. Does this make his statement a contradiction? The answer is no. A logical contradiction says that 2 opposites are both true or false in the same way. At worst, Jesus is setting aside part of the Old Testament law, but that's not a contradiction. It's an abrogation. And Jesus, as God, has the full right to do this very thing. However, Jesus is not abrogating an Old Testament directive. Instead, he's putting it in its proper place. This was the bigger flaw in Eugene's thinking. Do a word search on the phrase eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth, and you'll find exactly 3 places where the Old Testament uses the phrase. Exodus 21:24, Leviticus 24:20, and Deuteronomy 19:21. In all 3 cases, the law of Moses addresses situations involving capital punishment. It looks like Jesus' original hearers were misapplying principles intended only for capital punishment and invoking them to justify personal retaliation. A slap on the right cheek could only be accomplished with the back of an evil person's right hand. That is an insult, not a threat to life. Some well-intentioned Christians have used these verses to consign believers to pacifism, but they've misunderstood just as much as Eugene. The, quote, evil one, or the one who is evil, end of quote, is specific as the one who insults by slap, lawsuit, or civil law. By the way, Roman soldiers could legally compel a Jew to carry their equipment. Jesus is not addressing asocial aggression, criminal activity, or war. This is about the Christian response to a personal affront. And then oddly, he adds beggars into the mix. So what's the point? Well, followers of Christ bring their King glory by over-the-top generosity. Not only do we give to those in need, asking for nothing in return, but we exceed expected generosity with over-the-top generosity. You might even characterize it as unrelenting kindness, which takes a generous attitude in the first place. When insulted, we invite further abuse through the vulnerability of continuing the relationship and seeking reconciliation. When they sue us for our shirt, we shock the pants off of them by throwing in our coat. We not only meet the bureaucrats' petty vindictiveness with compliance, we kill them with unrelenting kindness. Why? It's because this is exactly how God treats petty little sinners like us, who give Him the finger every single day in thought, word, or deed. Even better, there's a tactical advantage to over-the-top generosity that results in unrelenting kindness. You can actually get revenge by killing them with kindness. Proverbs 25, verses 21 through 22. If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you.